Welcome to another edition of MIW. Got the D-Man here, and I'm glad you could join me. Today, I'm going to show you how to get what you want, or I'm going to help you get what you want. Show you the way, help you discover how. Okay, the most important thing that just pops into my head is persistence. The problem most people have, why they don't get what they want, is because first, they don't know what they want. So they don't have the persistence to go after it and continue to go after it, even when it doesn't look like they're going to get it, because they really don't know if they want it or not. You have to decide what you want before you're going to get it. Okay, now you may change your mind as you move along, but what will happen is as you decide on a goal, on what you want in life, and you step out and go towards that goal, you're going to have a plan. You want to make a plan. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but just do the best you can to make a plan. You take that first step and you start in the direction of your goal. Now, I'll guarantee you, you're not going to follow your plan exactly, because life and things happen, changes, and you may have to go around, you may have to go over or under something to get to where you want to go. But that's where the persistence and the perseverance comes in. That's where the belief or the power of faith and believing in the vision that you can't see with your eyes yet, but you can see it with the eyes of your soul, so to speak, the eyes of your spirit, your internal vision, your imagination, however you choose to name it. But you have to hold on to that picture, even though everything on the outside is telling you that it's not going to happen. Now, if you head off in the direction, and sometimes you will be moved into something else, you may start going toward that. For example, let's say you wanted to be a movie star. Okay, so you start studying, you take acting classes, and you do all that, and maybe you get a couple of interviews and or auditions, and you go do that, and then all of a sudden, someone offers you a job as a director or something like that, and you thought, well, I don't want to be a director. I want to be a movie star. But yet you go ahead and take that because it's still in the arena of what you're desiring to be. And who knows, if you take that as a director, what that will lead you into later, where you may have the opportunity to be a star in a show. Maybe you'll direct your own show. I mean, that's just an example of a million ways things could happen. There are so many ways that what you want could come to you. And sometimes what we do is we get our mind fixed on one way that we can get it, and we limit the possibilities that are available to us because we get tunnel vision, so to speak. There's a certain principle, it's called, there's lacunas. It's like a mental block, is when something could be right in front of your face, but you can't see it. That's why two people can look at something. One sees an opportunity, one sees an obstacle. Okay? There's opportunity before both of them. But the person with the open mind and the vision can see the opportunity, but the person with the closed mind or contempt before investigation can't see it. His mind is blocked, his vision is blocked. I'll give you an example. I took my son's car to get it fixed the other day. Sits right out here in front of my house, okay? I mean, it's right out the front door. All right, so I took it up there about noon. I did it in secret because I wanted to fix it for him without him knowing it. So he went outside on the front porch. He drove my car right by where his car sits. I mean, it would be facing, he was within 20 feet of where it should be, facing right that way as he drove. 3 times or 4 times, he went by, never noticed the car was gone. Because in his mind, that car was there. He didn't know it was gone. He wasn't consciously aware that it was gone, so his subconscious blocked the idea that it was gone, even though it wasn't there. So when I got the car back home, I told him what happened. He said, I can't believe it. He said, I drove within 20 feet of it. It was right, he drove right toward it for about 40 feet, and then he had to turn left, and he never saw that it was gone. And this is what our mind will do. When we don't believe there's opportunities out there, we could be standing in front of the best opportunity in our life and we won't see it. And that is the importance of writing down the goal. When you write that down, your brain or your mind has like a homing device, like a heat-seeking missile. When you write that down and you start seeing it, visualizing it, feeling as if you have that goal, then when those opportunities arise, you won't be blind to them. You will see them, as where before you wouldn't see them. I'll give you another example. Have you ever bought like a red car or blue car, whatever color, brown? Okay, let's say you buy an Impala. Now, you buy that car and all of a sudden you see those cars everywhere, but you didn't see them before. That's because your mind was not open to the possibility of them being there. Or you weren't homed in on that. But now all of a sudden you see those cars everywhere, but you never saw them before. But you see them everywhere now because it's within your consciousness, within your vision, it's in your mind because you have a red car like that. I mean, think about your life. I'm sure you can find some time when that's happened to you. We see what we believe. We don't believe so much what we see. We see what we believe to be. So that's why, as I said, when you write your goal down and you start talking about it, affirming it, and believing that it is here now, the opportunities will present themselves to you. And you will see and notice things that you never noticed before because your mind was not programmed to be open or to be, zeroed in on that particular goal or whatever it is you're seeking. So you can have whatever you want in life, but first you have to believe it enough to write it down. Many people say, oh, well, I have my goals in my mind. I know what they are. No, when you write them down, it puts like having them in concrete. They're more real. They become real. Write it down, make a plan. As I said, it doesn't have to be an elaborate plan, whatever it happens to be. Let's say you want to be an alpha male. Let's say you want to be the alpha god. You can be that if you want to. Maybe you say, oh man, I'm ugly and I'm fat. Well, if you think that way, you're always going to be ugly and fat. But if you start seeing yourself as handsome and believing that you got a great body, even when you're 50 pounds overweight, guess what's going to happen? If you really work on that inside of you, you will find yourself wanting to go to the gym. You'll find yourself eating less. You'll find yourself doing things that a healthy, attractive person does. You'll find yourself carrying yourself better with more confidence. You will have your appearance will change. I mean, these things really happen, but you will be taking small actions that you don't even notice to get you to that point. But until you set the goal, you looked at yourself as a fat, unattractive man. But that can change, but first it has to change within you. You don't change anything on the outside. You change your vision of yourself on the inside, and then that produces the desires and the actions for you to take, for you to do the things to make yourself more attractive. Because of the man, there are many things you can do to make yourself more attractive, to make yourself a high value, high status man. One, you can get your money right. You can start your own business, work harder at your job, start a part-time business, start investing in real estate, whatever it happens to be. Write a book. I just wrote a book, just finished it. It'll be published in a few days. Coming Home, the true story of Mark Daniels. Okay, it's a pretty good adventure. How do I know that? Because for years, people told me I should write a book. And I thought, that's not that much. But when I started writing it down, I realized why people were telling me that. But see, I always had it in my head before, so to me it was just my life. It didn't seem anything strange or unusual, a couple tough times, but once I started writing it down, I realized why for years people told me I should write a book or that my life should be a movie. But anyway, so I finished the book after 6 months. There were some times when I was afraid. I don't know what I was afraid of. I didn't want to read the edits. I didn't want to read the draft when he sent it to me. I didn't want to go through it. I don't know why. These are the fears that are going to come up, which don't make any logical sense whenever you set out toward a goal. Let's say your goal is to be an alpha god, to be the alpha male, to be the man, to be a great pickup artist or whatever, or to be a great husband, whatever you want to be. As soon as you hit off in that direction, there's going to be some fears. One of the things you're going to hear yourself say is, I can't do that. What am I doing this for? This is stupid. I'm never going to be that. You don't listen to that voice. You cut that out with a positive affirmation that is just the opposite of that negative affirmation that's going on in your head. And you always want to think about what you're thinking about and also what you're talking about. Because when you talk about things, that gives life to your thoughts. And it's even more powerful than thinking about them, because you have the thoughts, plus you have the vocalization of those thoughts. Thoughts are things. Everything that is created that you see in your world today was first in the mind of man. So everything that you will ever be is in your mind. It started in your mind. And everything that you have has been started in your thoughts and in your mind. Now, if you're a young man, a lot of those programs you have were given to you by your parents. You can't do anything about what happened in the past, but you can change those programs. If you grew up like I did, one of the things my dad said to me was, "You're never going to amount to nothing. You're never going to amount to nothing. You aren't smart enough to pound sand in a rat hole." That was along with the whippings that I got too. Okay, the weapons weren't as bad as the things he said to me. Now, my father, in all fairness, was raised in an orphanage. His dad was a drunk. He left him. His mom died when he was 2. So he provided me with a great home as far as I had everything I needed. I never did without food or water or clothes or anything like that. And my mom worked also, and she provided me. She used to tell me I had a privileged life. And I argued with her, but looking back, I did have a privileged life. Even though my dad was an alcoholic, and it was rough with him at home at night. But the point is, I can look back on that like I was an abused child. Oh, poor me. Where's that going to get me? Or I can look back and look at the good side of everything that I had. So many kids today don't have a mom and dad. They're living with their grandma or their grandpa because their dad's in jail or dead, their mom's in jail or dead, or they're both drug addicts and are not responsible enough to take care of the kids. I have 6 kids. Their friends come over all the time, and I see this. Okay, so my childhood was rough, but I had discipline. They showed me a good work ethic. And according to today's standards, I was abused, but whatever. I'm glad he whipped my butt. I'll say it that way. Got to keep it clean. Okay, but anyway, life is what you make of it. You can't change what happened to you, but don't go around being a victim. You're not a victim unless you choose to continue to be a victim. When you're a child, you didn't have much to say about it, but now you do. You've come to the age of understanding you can create your own life, and you will do it by your thoughts, your actions, and your, what is it called? I can't think of the word. I want to say intuition, but it's not that. Your intentions, by your intentions, and your actions will come from your intentions. Most people live life unintentionally. They get up, they do the same thing over and over every day, like they're pre-programmed, they never change anything, and they wonder why their life doesn't change. Nothing changes, nothing changes. And if anything's going to be the change, you have to be that. The change starts with you. If you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. So do something different. You can do it. I believe in you. You wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't think you could be more than you are. We all can be more than we are. Accept ourselves where we're at today, but strive for more. That's what makes you feel alive, and that's what will bring you happiness and fulfillment. Not that beautiful girl you're looking at, or that car, or this money, or any of that stuff. All these things will be a byproduct of you becoming everything that you're capable of becoming. Thanks for joining me. Share this with a friend, and if you want to get my help personally, Mark's Inspirational Guidance at gmail.com. My book will be out in a few days. It's a good one. Take care.